Uniforms within the education system, created by Christina Signore. Uniform is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as having always the same form, manner, or degree, not varying or variable. A uniform is a special kind of clothing that is worn by all members of a group or organization. This includes, however, is not solely subjected to, the education system. Most schools that utilize uniforms are private schools. This does not necessarily mean Catholic schools, however, Catholic schools do use the uniform clothing system. Uniforms are often worn from the young age of a kindergartner to the mature young adult age of 17 to 18 years old, otherwise known as a senior in high school. In recent years, many parents, teachers, and other administrators feel that uniforms should be exhibited throughout the United States. According to current 2013 pros and cons of school uniforms statistics, 23% of schools across the United States are enforcing their students to wear a uniform. However, the leader of the School Uniform Pro Advocates, New Orleans, has 95% of all public schools that require a uniform. But why exactly is a nation that stresses the importance of freedom of expression pushing a source for uniforms? Uniforms are not always restrictive. Sometimes schools solely restrict bearing iconographic symbols and limiting students to white shirts and dark-colored pants and skirts. Sometimes there are even less restrictive cases, prohibiting certain kinds of dress such as baggy jeans, oversized shirts, and bulky jackets. The overall concept of uniforms became a more prevalent idea after extremely tragic events such as the 1999 Columbine tragedy. In the eyes of many educators after such tragedies, school uniforms seem to present a solution for creating oneness and harmony in student populations. In 1996, the Department of Education released a manual promoting the benefits of instituting school uniforms, calling this policy one positive and creative way to reduce discipline problems and increase school safety. The many possible advantages include decreasing violence and theft among students over designer expensive clothing, helping to prevent gang members from wearing gang colors at school, helping students to better concentrate on their schoolwork, and helping school officials to recognize intruders who come to school. It also suggests that uniforms reduce crime while enhancing school spirit and academic performance. The National Association of Elementary School Principals survey showed that the uniform policies adopted by some schools made a significant positive impact on peer pressure by 86% and bullying by 64%. The survey also revealed that there are other areas where positivity prevailed when it came to school uniforms. Leaders stated that they believe their school uniform or formal dress code policy has made a positive impact on the following: classroom discipline by 85%, image in the community by 83%, student safety by 79%, school pride by 77%, student achievement by 64%, and attendance by 44%. The Long Beach, California School District was the first in the country to institute a mandatory uniform policy. In the 5 years following the policy's institution, overall crime dropped 86%, incidents of assault and battery dropping from 319 cases to 82 vandalism cases, decreased from 1,409 to 106 incidents. The following map, on the photo above, shows the top 5 cities with the highest use of uniforms in their public schools. Although uniforms seem to be rather beneficial, there are cons to the implementation of uniforms. Those who dislike the usage of uniform policies argue that they constrain the students' expressive rights and prohibit normal identity exploration and development, and oftentimes represent the intrusive control of group behavior and financially burdened families. Students do not particularly like the idea of uniforms implemented within the schooling system. In a study collected as part of a Student Life in High Schools project, an investigation of Brookside High School was done. 75% of the students were opposed to the policy. 23% of the students favored the policy. Of those who opposed the policy, 56% opposed the restriction of freedom, while 25% opposed the expense of the uniform, and 19% opposed the futility of the policy. Only 2 students were recorded by interviewers as consistently complying with the uniform policy. Other cons of uniforms are that a child wearing uniform can be a target for bullying of students from different schools. Uniforms can also decrease the child's comfort level and attentiveness while attending lessons. Also, enforcing rules to wearing school uniforms is extremely difficult, especially in the public school system. Personally, I feel that uniforms are very beneficial to the educational process. It prevents the concept of bullying while exemplifying the theme of community. Having worn uniforms for most of my life, I feel it has formed me into the student I am today. Although I do agree with uniforms, I feel that they should be implemented with a few exceptions. For example, students should have the ability to accessorize or implement their own source of creativity within their uniform, such as colored socks, colorful shoe wear, or even pins that can be represented on their clothing.